What's good, y'all? What's good? It's Brittany J, Toxic Positivity. It's been a minute. I've been busy. I've been working. I've been, checking off my bucket list. I did my tattoo. Isn't she gorgeous? This is my son's work. I absolutely love it. So anyway, I got a message. I got two messages, but I'm just going to talk about one message today. And I just love how spirit works. And it's funny, like, we always say, like, I just started noticing more how the technology definitely mimics us and our spirituality, right? So, like, how you type in something in your phone now, and, like, you'll get commercials, you'll get ads, you'll get all kinds of stuff that will point you to what you was just looking for, right? So that's the way spirit works with me. Like, as far as, like, I definitely know I have to speak about a certain message when I keep seeing it everywhere, and not just on my phone. Like, I'll be out somewhere, or like, my kids will bring up something, or somebody else will bring up something. So anyway, what the message was, and I hope I could get this out right. Okay, so if you've been watching my videos, one of my struggles and one of my traumas that I overcame was my period, right? And I think this is for, like, a lot of women and a lot of men. And it's so crazy because I still don't know everything about it. And that is that's the basis of this video, is that if you don't know, the divine feminine is rising. The divine feminine is risen, is here, it's coming, and it's here. And we're in a time of divine feminine energy, right? So with that being said, because women, as women, we have been put down and forgotten about for so long, right? So now that the divine feminine is coming back up, like, we have to educate ourselves and depth, like, go dive deep. We have to go deep because, okay, like most, I'm trying to, like, phrase this properly. So let me just go from my experience. And I know this is common for everybody. When we're taught about the feminine body or the human body, it's very basic. We don't go in depth. Not in, like, even with the scientific stuff, we don't go in enough depth. We get the very surface level, and then on top of not getting the in depth on the surface, or not in depth on the physical body or whatever, we don't even get into the spiritual. We don't even touch that. So, like, every pregnancy, I would educate myself so much. So, like, my first pregnancy, I had twins. So pretty much I was obsessed with the whole twin factor. So that's mostly what I concentrated on when I had my first pregnancy. And I had my last baby 5 years ago. So I learned a whole bunch of new things during that pregnancy. That shit that I didn't know. And I was like 34. No, it was 30. Yeah, it was 34. And I'm like, there was so much I still didn't know about my body. And I didn't say it was sad, but it is sad, because even now I'm more learning about the spiritual aspect of my body, about my vagina, about the womb, about all that, right? So I saw this video the other day, so that's what triggered this message. So as I said, spirit will send me something, and then the floodgates will open, and I'll get information from all kinds of places, right? So I'm going to link the video with this video. I'm going to find it and try to link it with this video. So basically, it was a lady who was talking about, like, the breakdown of the period, like, from day one, like the first day to, like, the third day. Like, the woman needs to be, in solitude. She doesn't really want to talk to anybody. She just needs to, be to herself. And then, like, between this day and this day, that's when you can talk about business. Or this day and this day, you could talk about certain things. And this day and this, it was like it's such a great video. And I'm like, oh my God, like, we don't learn this about our body. We don't even know it's about ourselves. So we can't tell our partner. So this is why men don't understand us, because we don't even understand ourselves, because it's been suppressed for so long. So, like, that's why I say, like, I see a lot of stuff talking about, I had seen another video And, you know, I didn't agree fully with what she was saying. You know, maybe that's what Spirit gave her to talk about, but that's not what I got from it. But she was saying, you know, like back ancient times, you know, we were divine feminine and the men were there to protect us. Yes, I agree with that. And, you know, and that's what I don't know. I haven't gotten in touch with that whole part of, like, you know, she was talking about, you know, we were rulers and everything, we did everything, and then the men were just there to protect us and breed with us and all this stuff like that. So then you know, she went on to say that, you know, they betrayed us, and then that's how whatever. So the men have to apologize to us in order for things to come into balance. But I agree with that halfway. I agree with it and I disagree with it, because I'm like, if we don't know we are a divine feminine, if we don't become a divine feminine, who are they going to apologize to? You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, everything always starts with the woman. We are the original creators. So everything starts with us, even creating this balance, because once we take our rightful place as divine feminine, then the divine masculine will recognize us for who we are. And then the balance will come. It can't be the other way around. It always starts with us. So we can't say, oh, nothing's gonna change until the men apologize for what happened. No, it's not gonna work like that, because you can't identify with somebody if that's not who they are. So if you're feminine, okay, but are you divine feminine? They can't protect a feminine. They have to protect a divine feminine. So if you're not a divine feminine, you're not going to get that apology. You're not going to get that protection. So that's number one. So it's always going to start with us. We can't just walk around and be like, oh, well, because I'm a woman, you know, you have to be a divine woman. Because there's a lot of unhealed women still walking around. There's a lot of Jezebel spirited women still walking around. So we can't say, oh, well, they have to apologize to us first and then things will be balanced. No, we have to come into balance first. So that's what I was saying, as far as like, okay, tapping back into like the video I was talking about with the lady who was explaining like certain days during the cycle that we can do certain things. And like I said, I'm even starting to do this, like, because I was raised, and I even have to be conscious of this with my daughter, like mostly with myself. I have to start with myself first, and then I can be able to teach her the proper way, or what I feel is the proper way. So like when I was growing up, like, you worked through your period, like you sucked that shit up. Like it wasn't like, oh, you didn't get catered to, you didn't get baby, you didn't get any of that. Like you took a pill, you didn't even get to take a nap. Like, no, you gonna go to school, you gonna do this, you gonna work through it. And as I've come into my spirituality, coming into myself and my divinity, I'm like, you know what? If I'm tired, I'm gonna lay down. If I have cramps, I'm gonna lay down. If I don't want to do anything, I'm not gonna do anything. I'm not gonna force myself and work myself and push myself while my body is going through what it's going through this cleansing, through this process. We have to start honoring the female body. If we are divine feminines, we have to start honoring ourselves as a divine feminine. Our body is going through something very, I'm not going to say extreme, but it's going through something. It's hormonal, it's mental, it's physical. It's a whole lot going on. And if we don't acknowledge it and stay present with it, because we're not taught to do that. And that is why we are so imbalanced, because of that. Because we're not honoring ourselves, we're not present with our body, we're not present with ourselves, we're not, like I said, just honoring that process. So, like I started trying to be more conscious of it with my daughter. Like, I try not to push that same agenda like when I was younger. Like, if I had to do laundry or whatever in the house and I had my period or whatever, like, you work through that shit. Like, you had to keep going. Ain't no break for you. It's just a period. You gonna work through it. Like, and that's not, I don't feel like that is what we're supposed to be doing. I think we should be honoring that time and being present with that, and not forcing our body to do what our mind is telling us to do. We have to, like, you know, oh gosh, I'm like losing what I want to say. But I hope I'm making sense with this. I'm just saying, like, we have to start being more honoring of that sacred time. It is a sacred time to me. Because once I learned what the period was, I didn't learn what the period fully was until my last pregnancy. Like, it was so crazy. And it's because, like, okay, both pregnancies, I didn't know I was in labor. Now, we watch movies, right? We watch movies and they're like in extreme pain. They're screaming, they're crying, they're sweating. That, I didn't have that experience. I didn't even know I was in labor. My monthly cramps was worse than my labor pains. And I was like, I couldn't believe it. Like, both times, both pregnancies. And once I learned that basically that's what a period is basically you giving birth every month, I was like, that should blow my mind. Because that's not what we're taught. That's not what we're taught. And that's what I was like, we're not even talking about the spiritual level. I'm talking about the basic biological level. Like, all we're taught is once you get your period, you can have a baby. And, you know, the lining, like, they'll go through all these, like, intricacies or whatever. I think they just do that to confuse you and to, like, deter you from what's really happening. And if somebody explained it to me like that, like, oh my God, like, period is a monthly, basically a practice for you to have a baby. Like, explain those parts. But a lot of the times, from my experience too, it's like, there's probably men coming up with this curriculum, not even women. I did have female health teachers, and like, we barely talked about this stuff. And your parents don't talk to you about it. Nobody talks to you about these things. So this is what I'm saying. Educate yourself. Everybody. Women, especially women. Try to educate yourself as much as possible about your physical body. And share that knowledge with men and your children. Especially your children. But especially boys too. They need to know. Everybody needs to know. It's not something like we treat it like it's so dirty. And I know this was one of my traumas as a child, and it affected me in my relationship. Oh, that's a whole nother video I have to make about that. But yeah, like, it's like we treat it like it's so taboo, like it's disgusting to talk about, and it's not. And I think they put it in us to make it seem like it's disgusting, so it would disconnect us so much. Like, disconnect women and men, and women from ourselves. And that's why I say, like, if we understood ourselves more, it would be better. It would be easier for men to understand us. But like I said, we don't even understand ourselves. So that's where the disconnect comes. So that's why I'm like, the whole point too, as far as the divine feminine rising again, it's going to be crucial. Like, that was the message that I got from that video. It was like, due to the fact that divine feminine is coming back into her power, we need to understand how she operates, because that is going to determine anything. If her mood, her attitude, her changes, whatever, we need to understand how to communicate, when to do something, when not to do something with a divine feminine. And that's basically what this whole message was. Like the fact that we are coming into our power, we have to understand how our body works, how our emotional and hormonal calendar works, because every woman is different. So that's a whole nother thing too. Like, not every woman's period is the same. Not everybody's cycle is the same. And, you know, that's what the video pretty much talks about. I thought it was a great video. It's not even a long video. It's a great video. For a short video, it gave me a whole lot of information. And, you know, I'm just spreading this information. So that's what the Spirit wanted me to talk about today. I hope it makes sense. It made sense to me. Like, that's what they wanted me to talk about, to get that out. Like, we have to start tapping back into the feminine body, both men and women, but us first. Like I said, everything starts with us. I think I even said that in another video before, like, oh, well, who is supposed to start the healing? Everything starts with us. Everything starts with women. Everything. I know that sounds cliche, but it's the truth. But I feel once we come back into balance with ourselves, the men will fall in line and follow suit. Like, everything will go back to balance the way it is. We're not above anybody. We're not above the men. They're not above us. It's a partnership. It's a team. You understand? And that's what it is. So yeah. I hope this message gets to whoever it needs to get to. I hope it's helpful. It helped me. I hope to like go in more depth. Not, on the scientific. I think everybody should do their own research on that stuff. I do my own research. I'm just bringing it to attention, bringing it to awareness of that's what we should be doing. And like I said, I'm going to try to find these 2 videos. Oh, and there was another video. Oh man, that video was good too. But I'll probably have to do another video because this one is already long enough. But I love you guys. I hope you have a great day. I hope you found this video helpful. And I'll catch y'all in the next one. All right, bye.